The movie begins on the planet Clintar, where the symbiotes live. Their maker, Null, has been locked up there because of his dark and brutal ways. He wants to get the Codex, a powerful item that would free him and let him annihilate whole universe. Null sends out his creatures, called the Xenophages, to find the one symbiote holding the Codex. Meanwhile, Eddie, Brock, and Venom are drunk in Mexico on Earth 616, yapping in front of a bartender. However, portals, opened by Null to send out the Xenophages, also pull Eddie and Venom back to their own world, right in front of the same bartender. Venom tries to make himself a drink real fancy way until he and Eddie notice that Eddie is now a wanted man, suspected of killing Detective Patrick Mulligan. Since they can't go back to San Francisco, Eddie decides to go to New York City. Even though he was banned from there, he claims he has enough secrets about the judge to help clear his name. As they're heading out, Eddie and Venom hear sounds of chaos and trouble. They follow the noises to a hidden warehouse. He punches open the lock, where a lot of dogs are being held for fighting. The four men running the operation confront Eddie, ready to take him down. Eddie tries to negotiate with the thugs, but as they are eager to cut his throat, Eddie lets Venom take over, kicking the thug far, saying "Hola biatches." They let the dogs loose to get back at thugs. Venom then grabs each thug with his tentacles and bites off their heads. Afterward, Eddie and Venom free the rest of the dogs and start their journey toward New York, not realizing a xenophage is trailing them. Meanwhile, General Rex Strickland is called by his mysterious superior to look into Eddie and Venom's case. Strickland heads to the bar where they were last seen and finds a sample of venom. Strickland questions the bartender about what happened and instructs his team to bring the bartender in for more questioning. In another part of Nevada, we meet Dr. Teddy Payne, who is having a nightmare about her past. She remembers when she was a child and her twin brother ran through a storm. Teddy was struck by lightning as a child, but the current passed through her, electrocuting her brother because he was holding her hand. She gets a call directing her to Area 51, which is set to close down in 3 days, putting a ban on alien research. Strickland is also seen in Area 51. She enters Area 55, which is actual Imperium program symbiote containment and analysis. She meets General Strickland and her colleague Sadie, nicknamed Christmas, who is excited to see new samples. Teddy Lab studies other symbiotes that arrived on Earth around the same time as Venom. Together, they go to a containment cell where Mulligan, now hosting the symbiote Toxin, is being held. Speaking through Mulligan, Toxin warns them all about the danger Null presents. Meanwhile, Venom makes Eddie latch onto a plane bound for New York for a free ride. While in the air, they're attacked by the Xenophage, but manage to send it through the plane's turbine. Venom says they have to disappear and makes Eddie jump and parachute all the way down, landing in a remote area. A family is seen on their way to Area 51 to see aliens when remains of xenophages fall on their car and regenerating itself. Meanwhile, Eddie and Venom landed in Wasteland. Edie questions about the creep they faced on the sky, so Venom reveals it was a xenophage who serve one and only Null and tells why they are after them. Null wants a codex that is created when a symbiote's and a host's life merge and symbiote saves the host from death. This already occurred when Venom revived Eddie after he was impaled by Riot. Since the xenophages can sense the codex when Venom is in its full form, he stays hidden in Eddie for now. Codex will exist only until one of them is dead. They soon spot a horse, and Venom takes control of it so they can travel faster. Strickland sends a team of mercenaries to find Eddie and Venom. When Venom is drinking water from a lake, they are spotted by the mercenaries that shoots them. Eddie falls down in lake. Venom swims to catch up Eddie, but is caught in a trap. Eddie ends up in a fight with 2 mercenaries and in self-defense shoots one, leaving him feeling guilty. Venom escapes from trap by controlling fish to frog everything on its way. As Eddie is about to die by going over a waterfall, Venom reunites with Eddie and takes over, resulting in being spotted by Xenophage. Before the mercenaries can attack again, the Xenophage arrives and tears through the mercenaries, shredding them like a wood chipper. Seeing Xenophage, Venom hides. Eddie and Venom use the chaos to escape. Strickland gets emotional for losing his 3 men to a new alien. Eddie is flabbergasted as he realizes whole U.S. Army is after him and a bad puppy creature from hell. Dr. Teddy tells Mulligan the creature he told them about is on Earth. Toxin reveals his true form to Teddy and Sadie, explaining that end is near. Venom and Eddie holds the Codex, and as long as one of them doesn't die, the world remains at risk. Strickland is furious over losing his men and decides to kill Eddie and Venom himself. Eddie keeps walking until he meets a hippie family, the Moons, Martin, Nova, and their kids Echo and Leaf. They offer him food, which is whole vegan, and Venom gives it a hard pass. They agree to drive him as far as Vegas, since they want to see Area 51 before it shuts down. During the trip, they sing Space Oddity, which Venom loves and cheers Eddie to sing along. As night falls, Leaf offers Eddie a chocolate. Venom remarks to Eddie about how he could have made a good family man, especially after bonding with Leaf. The family drops Eddie and Venom off in Vegas. Martin hands him some money along shoes and heads off. On their way, they see a lady impersonating Statue of Liberty, and Venom tells how bad he wants to see real Statue of Liberty in New York. Eddie tries to get into a casino, but is refused entry for dressing too casually. Venom knocks out the bouncer, and then they spot a drunken man peeing who starts peeing on Eddie's feet. Pissed Venom brings out a big hand slapping him down too, and take his suit. Eddie becomes a sexy man. Inside Casino, Venom spots a gamble machine and enters all his money, feeling Lady Luck is on his side and loses. In anger, Venom kicks the machine, stating Lady Luck is a fickle sack. They run into Mrs. Chen, who gets excited to see them and lets them clean up in her room. Strickland is informed Eddie is spotted in Las Vegas, and he calls an unknown superior requesting control of whole Imperium program. Strickland is granted whole permission. Meanwhile, Mrs. Chang persuades Venom to show himself and dance with her for the last time before they go. Venom gets excited and starts dancing with her, which makes it easy for the xenophage to track them down again. As xenophage arrives, Venom hides away from Eddie, making xenophage flee without harming anyone. But this allows Strickland and his men to capture Eddie and Venom, keeping them separated. The Moons arrive at Area 51 and sneaks in to find something cool. Venom is slowly dying without its host. Moons are trying to reach the roof to get a better view of Area 51. Just as Eddie wakes up, he searches for Venom and finds Mulligan alive in another cell. Mulligan tells Eddie whole army of xenophages are after him to retrieve Codex. Dr. Teddy introduces herself to Eddie while Strickland pulls Eddie from his cell, planning to personally kill him to destroy the Codex. Venom, who had temporarily bonded with Sadie, jumps back to Eddie in time to save him. Just then, the xenophage arrives, and Toxin fights it off long enough for Venom to escape before the xenophage devours Toxin as well. As everyone is struggling to fight xenophage, Teddy and Sadie soon free the other symbiotes, who then bond with various scientists to reveal their full forms. The symbiotes attack the xenophage, but it keeps regenerating, making it almost impossible to kill. In the process, the xenophage also kills some of the symbiotes. Sadie, now bonded with the symbiote Lasher, asks Eddie to get out of here and leads the other symbiotes into battle. Moons are terrified to witness such chaos. Eddie rushes after them to ensure their safety. Strickland fire and massive explode on Xenophage, resulting in building to collapse. Just as they are about to fall, Eddie and Sadie catches them. Soon, Xenophage regenerates, but is hit by a car driven by Dr. Teddy, who tries to take the Moon family away. Meanwhile, Xenophage calls in more creatures like itself for backup. To draw the Xenophages away from Lasher, Venom leads them into a kill zone arranged with Strickland's help. Dr. Teddy drops Moon family to their bus, and they flee, saying Alien sucks. Eddie and Sadie manage to behead 2 Xenophages riding a motorcycle. But soon, more Xenophages arrive, overwhelming them. Venom takes Eddie on a side. Eddie is seen injured. Venom tells him aliens are going to keep coming till they get Codex. Eddie and Venom realize what needs to be done and decide to make the ultimate sacrifice together. They step into the open to lure the Xenophages, giving Strickland a sign to do what is needed. Venom wraps all of them within himself and pushes Eddie to a safe distance. Strickland releases a container of acid, dousing Venom and the Xenophages together. Venom says a final goodbye to Eddie till next time and covers him to avoid acid splashes. Strickland detonates a grenade, triggering an explosion that destroys the xenophages for good. Teddy, now bonded with the symbiote Agony, uses her speed to get herself and Sadie to safety before the blast. With the codex gone, Null is forced back into his prison. Eddie wakes up in a hospital, calling for Venom, where a federal agent informs him that his criminal record has been cleared and he's free to live a normal life, and says good luck, Eddie, before leaving. Eddie finally makes his way to New York City, remembering memories with Venom, to which I cried. Eddie visits the Statue of Liberty, just as Venom had wanted. If you liked our video, make sure to like and subscribe our channel, or else may you end up as acidified xenophages. Amen.